All month long, we're continuing to share stories, resources, and information on domestic violence. And today, we're learning about why there's an increase in abuse through technology. Here to explain what that is, I'm joined by Houston Area Women's Center Deputy CEO Sonia Corrales. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Can you explain what is digital abuse? How is that different from other types of domestic violence?
Well, let me go ahead and back up just a little bit, because one of the things that I want to make sure that people know is that, technology is a good thing, right? So it does help survivors with safety. It helps survivors stay connected, to friends and family, especially in a dynamic involving domestic violence. It also helps organizations like ours, open the door to access, to make sure that people have access, like a hotline or a chat or virtual services, because we know that sometimes people cannot access those. So I want to make sure that we know that technology is a good thing. We also know that in domestic violence situations, a person who is abusing somebody can use technology to harm, somebody. And you mentioned digital abuse.
Yeah.
And so digital abuse is when somebody is using texting or social media to harass, to bully somebody, to threaten and to intimidate somebody through text messaging or using social media to do it.
Oh, okay. So when a victim leaves the home, they're still being taunted through their cell phone, basically.
Oh, absolutely. And that's when people are leaving, it's one of the most dangerous times for a survivor, because that person who is abusing them is losing power and they're losing control. We also know that stalking increases. So many of the survivors who have left or are in the process of leaving are being stalked by the abuser.
It's more than text messages too. I mean, you can use your phone as a GPS. They could know where you are. There's cameras and things like that. Can you elaborate on just how insidious this can get?
Absolutely. So the knowing where you are and tracking your location is a big thing. We all are we're very used to sharing our locations with our family and our friends, and so this can be used against you. So one of the things that we want to make sure that people know, whether you are in an abusive situation or not, is that your technology, your phone, your computer, your iPad, all of those things can be monitored and can be tracked, and location is one of those things. So it's important, to have some safety tips when that is potentially happening. So if you think that this is happening to you, something very simple as you're using your phone, and on your phone it shows, like the different devices that might be connected. So your computer, your iPad, those kinds of things can be connected to your phone. And if somebody hacks into your phone or knows your password, they can see your location, they can see your photos, they can see your text messages through these other devices.
They can get on your computer and see where your phone is.
Absolutely.
Is there a way on your phone that you can tell who is monitoring you or who is looking at where you're at?
Yeah, you can go into your settings to see those things. I think one of the important things to note, though, we can say something like, make sure that you're changing your password frequently. Make sure that you have a two-step
authentication. Yes,
that's right. Make sure that you're doing those things. But one of the important things to note also is that safety and increasing safety may look different for people. So if I say to somebody, make sure that you're changing your password, but somebody is already controlling your devices, that may be a trigger for somebody. So we want to make sure that a personalized safety plan is the message. So going to our chat and chatting about it and asking questions. Going to our website and learning more about technology abuse is also an important thing. And then an individualized safety plan and what may work for you, whether you're in a relationship that is abusive, trying to leave, or you've already left.
Well, talking about getting into that safety plan, I mean, should we even then be using a cell phone to communicate with you and to develop that safety plan? Or should you perhaps be going to a library or a friend's house or doing it on a different type of device?
Yes, absolutely. So if you feel like your device is getting monitored, absolutely, those are really good suggestions. So find somebody that, like a library may have a public device or a public computer that you can use. Sometimes, if you're using a different phone, that's also helpful to be able to talk to somebody. Sometimes people may get just a different phone altogether to be able to help increase their safety.
I once heard too to make a doctor's appointment, because chances are you'd be going to the doctor's appointment alone, and then you could maybe confide in somebody there about needing to call for help.
Absolutely. And at the doctor's office, there's also many doctor's offices who will provide some screening tools where they're actually screening you and asking you questions if you might be in a situation
Abusive
where
relationship.
there's violence.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk about digital safety for survivors. Are there tips that you would give to stay especially safe with your device?
Yes. So if you know that, or if you are experiencing digital abuse, so somebody is harassing you using text or using social media, make sure that you are documenting all of that. Make sure that you tell the person that this is not acceptable, that you want them to stop. Call us, at the Houston Area Women's Center, chat with us, and we may be able to help you find how to report. Maybe you qualify for a protective order, so there's other types of help in addition to us providing the counseling, the support, just access to all of the services that we have. We have legal advocacy, we have access to housing, all of those things that will help you. So this intersection between domestic violence and technology is important to know about.
Yeah, and you guys have the resources to help women find help. I also saw on your website that you can help if somebody is, say, like threatening you with exposing nude photos or things like that, exposing sexting and things like that, that your legal advocates can help with that?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things to keep in mind, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because when in a domestic violence situation, it's a pattern of abusive behaviors where one person is exerting control over another and manipulating them. And many times it's to keep them in that relationship. So that can be a tactic that is used so that somebody doesn't leave or comes back, to that person.
And women wouldn't want to leave if they think their photos are going to get exposed or posted on the internet or something.
It's a tactic, that abusers use. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for providing the resources to women out there and for continuing to help. And we're happy that we're able to give this information to the public during October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Sonia Corrales, thank you so much.